Howdy folks, how are we? Are we well? It's good to see you. It's always good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Please excuse the enthusiasm, but check this out.
150 knots. In the backseat you should have a HUD open with the HUD camera on.
I've got nothing open. There's no screens on at all.
You could turn on single screen.
Oh yeah. On. Yeah, hang on. So HUD. Yay, got it. Really excited about this one today. As most of you know, I like to voice my thoughts as I go through the motions, so for this one I may ramble here and there, so please forgive me in advance. But see that pilot up front? Well, sitting up front in the seat right now is a real fighter pilot. Now, I'm just going to say that again, a real fighter pilot. Not a virtual one, but a real fighter pilot. And get this, a real F-15 fighter pilot. And I have to say, I am somewhat pinching myself right now as I'm having to remind myself that this is actually happening. I don't think in military aviation that it gets any more spectacular than an F-15 pilot. It's the apex predator, isn't it? Up there with the F-22, F-35, F-16, you name it. Right, I am a true fighter pilot enthusiast, and so for me personally this is a real treat. This video is an announcement to a project we are planning for next year, but it's also to give you, the viewer, the opportunity to send me any questions that you would like me to ask the fighter pilot. Now, I have his voice on a separate channel because at the moment at least there are lots that we need to do in order to produce the next video properly. We have to consider his national security concerns as well as his own privacy. So a couple of things. Firstly, a bit of background. The pilot here is one of my subscribers who I actually flew with online without knowing he was actually a real fighter pilot. A few times we actually flew against each other and I remember struggling to fight him. So I was consciously aware of his name online and knew he was actually a formidable opponent. He reached out to me separately and obviously from there we got talking. He was very complimentary about my YouTube videos and wanted to help my channel and offered his time to do an interview with me. And for that, you know, I can't thank him enough. I did think about waiting a while to announce this, some more time to grow perhaps, and maybe do some more videos with this pilot. Perhaps I should have done, who knows, but I can't shake this feeling that this is an opportunity to grab while I can. You know, life does this sometimes, doesn't it? Opens a window or a door to take a chance. Who knows if I'll get another. So while he's around, why not? And to be honest, I feel I owe it to you guys. No, I know that sounds a little pretentious, I suppose, but I really mean it. I would love to get you guys and girls involved. I sort of see it as a sort of thank you. Right now though, this is a recording of him giving me nearly 2 hours of his time to take me for a spin in this F-15. He talked me through things most virtual pilots would never do. Startup procedures, checks, taxiing, flight rules, etc. During his flying, as we can see here, his flying skills make mine look amateurish by comparison. I mean, look at this, the speed at which he joins this group of F-15s and effortlessly glided alongside them. I mean, look at this, it's impressive. Going ballistic, man, go get him. Top Gun reference there. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But that's one thing we could do though, isn't it? Some dogfighting. Anyway, so have a think. What would you like to ask him? I mean, think about it. You could ask him anything you want. Anything. And if he can answer it, he will. You know, take this opportunity. Maybe an answer to a question that you haven't been able to find anywhere else. To give you an idea here, in this flight we spoke about the radar, how it operates in DCS compared to real life. Now obviously he's limited on what he can answer. There are, I suppose, a few things that he has to keep secret. After all, he's bound by law not to disclose certain aspects of the real F-15. The project we have is still in the making and we're hoping to produce it next year, but it isn't set in stone, may well change, and he may not be available to do it as and when the opportunity arises, but we'll see. He is an active airman after all, and he is on active duty, meaning he will be gone without notice, so... I also asked him his thoughts on DCS, you know, how realistic is it? A short answer is he's very impressed with it. Oh, by the way, slight interjection here, that unfortunately, this video that I put together, there was a lot that happened that didn't look good in the video. You may have already noticed the shaky pilot head in a few scenes here and there. No idea what's causing that. Joking aside, if anybody knows what is wrong and why it does that, please can you let me know in the comments below? I have noticed, and I do suspect, that it's probably because I hosted the session and he joined me by direct IP, so I don't know if that's anything to do with it. I've also noticed the track file. I've run it about 3 times now, and in each occasion the planes twitch. Certain planes twitch here and there. Just to give you an idea about the twitching, look at this. We did some air-to-air refueling, but take a look at this. I can't use this footage. And now that might be down to me hosting the session, so we will try some other servers to conduct the interview, but you can see why I didn't include this. Now these are things I need to resolve before the main video. I fear, being a Razbound product, this F-15, that the pilot's head may not get fixed unless somebody can provide a clever workaround. I have no idea. Either way though, I do intend to put forward around 50 questions to him, and that should provide a decent length video which may well represent a decent podcast. Who knows, perhaps it will feature a montage.
Based on our fuel, your approach speed should be approximately 175.
I actually had a go at controlling the aircraft from the back seat. To activate it, you just hit J on the keyboard, or whichever key you've assigned. Pilot then accepts the request, and then you can take control. When the pilot has had enough of you deciding to commit suicide, he can just take control back whenever he wants. Trouble is, I have the rear of the front seat in my view, as well as the pilot's head, so coming into land was a challenge. I got a not bad from him, which from a real fighter pilot I have to say is quite something. Okay, he's took control back. There's my sick bag. So yeah, send me your questions anonymously if you wish, and I will put them forward. Absolutely no problem at all. It's a great opportunity. You can either in the description below, or you can send an email to me at captainmrcalm@gmail.com, and then I can have a look at the questions and add them to the list. Now all questions will be vetted by him, so they may not make the cut. He might not be able to answer them, for example. In addition, if I get a lot of more questions than anticipated, I may well have to choose and cherry pick the best ones. So apologies in advance if your questions don't make it into the video. Plenty of time on this one, so take your time thinking about it. Perhaps you're a young student looking to be a pilot. Perhaps you have questions about being a fighter pilot more generally. Or perhaps you're just interested in the F-15 itself. Whatever it is, let me know and I will compile a list and discuss it with you. I'd like to remind everyone that I do have a buy me a coffee if you want to support the channel. It really does help. I'll put a link in the description below. So thank you very much for watching. It's an exciting one, this one. It's going to be a good project, I think, and I've been quite excited to see all of the questions that start coming through. But in any event, take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.